The number one thing that I have noticed over the years from mentoring for 4.5 years is that people truly don't understand what authenticity means. And I think that people think that authenticity means like I'm showing up as a version of myself that I think I should be. Because I used to feel like that. And I see so many people that feel the same way within my mentorship, where they'll think like, okay, I am showing up as this prestigious business owner. So I would do this, I would dress like this, I would do this, but then that's not even their style. And so they're trying to force themselves to do something that they've never done before or they never experienced before. Like people will say, oh, well, Niecy, I want to manifest, $20,000, but I've never had that much money at one time. So they think, okay, I would go and spend it. I would buy whatever I wanted because in their brain, $20,000 sounds like a lot of money. To me, at one point, $20,000 sounded like a lot of money until I started hitting like $40,000 months where I was like, oh, that's really not, it's not a lot of money at all. It actually depletes very quickly. The higher you elevate, the more things you have to pay for. And especially with money and relationships and career, I think the most people tend to show up as a version of themselves they think that they should be and not the version of themselves that they would be. When I started making more money, I had to become extremely more aware of where my money was going because I remember the first $45,000 month I hit, I was not able to maintain it. The next month I ended up making like 10 grand or $12,000, something smaller, significantly smaller than $45,000. And I was like, wait, why am I not hitting this month? And it's, or that number again the next month. And it was because I genuinely just had this fucked up, excuse me for lack of a better word, I had this fucked up mindset of what I thought wealth was going to look like. We think like we watch all these reality TV shows, the Kardashians or the Housewives or all of these Bravo shows or whatever. And we see people spending and going on fancy trips. But what we don't realize, and I have worked on reality television doing hair and makeup before, what you don't realize is that that stuff is a facade to keep you watching. Not that the situations and circumstances and the drama isn't real, but those vacations are paid for by the network. If someone gets married, that's also paid for by the network if the network chooses to pick it up for a show or season or spinoff or whatever. So we see these people spending an abnormal amount of money to us and we think, well, that's what wealth is. And so you have this preconceived notion of what you think wealth is, but you don't see these people talking to their accountant. You don't see these people with their financial advisor saying, hey, you don't need to go over budget this month. You don't see those things behind the scenes. And so you think like, once I get the money, I would just spend it. And you wouldn't, because with financial abundance comes great financial responsibility. Excuse me. If you're new to my content, my name is Niecy G. This is Gem Talk. I am studying to become a nurse practitioner and I study neuroscience and psychology. And I like to use cognitive behavioral therapy to help you understand quantum physics a lot easier and for you to get out of your own way so you can be the version of yourself that you aspire to be. I want you guys to recognize the patterns. Everything in the universe is a geometric pattern. Everything is made up of some sort of consistent pattern, down to your thumbprints, down to your ear canal, compared to a seashell. The palm of your hand looks like the leaves on trees or plants or whatever. Like there's all a pattern. And so when you can recognize your brain's pattern, the way that you do things, it becomes a lot easier. So when I recognize my financial patterns, and you guys, I'm also a master cosmetologist. I've been a hairstylist for 19 years. This is wild because I think in October it will be 20 years. Woo, I'm getting old. But nonetheless, I was able to make a lot of money, but I was not able to keep that money and maintain it. Excuse me. And so I had to recognize, like, okay, what's the habit here? Like, what's the pattern? And you guys, I got this new girl in my mentorship, and I'm so excited to work with her because she came to me with like, Niecy, look, I wrote down my patterns, but what do I do with it? And I was like, this is what I'm talking about. I want people who are more aligned with like my style of teaching. I don't want to have to start from ground up and you're over here trying to robotically affirm and I've been affirming and I'm doing the no. I love when people can call out their own bullshit because it just makes it faster and easier for me and for them. And the faster you can recognize your patterns and call yourself out on those patterns, the easier and faster your manifestations will come into fruition because you're no longer sugarcoating the bullshit. And so when you recognize those patterns, like for me, I had to recognize, like, okay, I'm making a shit ton of money. Like at the time I thought was a shit ton of money. Like I might make like $2,000 in a day or $3,000 in a day or $1,000 in a day. And I would be like, okay, but I made it. And then the next day, literally I would have $500. And I'm like, what the fuck? Not realizing like, okay, all these pending transactions that I made are now leveling out in my bank account, or all of the things that I had on auto draft, or, I paid this last week and is just now posted, like all of these things. So that caused me to have to restructure my finances. When you respect money, when you treat money like a person and not a tangible object, that's when things will start to shift a lot faster for those of you that are wanting financial abundance. I had to get very detailed and structured and disciplined with my money. So I had to look at, this is how much money I'm bringing in. I had to sit and write down like, okay, I made this amount of money this day. I started like printing off things. I have my, what is it called? My planner. It's over here on the other side, but I have my planner and I write down like, okay, this person owes me this amount of money. This person got hair extensions. Especially in my mentorship, because it's a larger container, I had to get very organized. So that caused me to have to get on certain financial platforms where people can automatically check out, or like with my VIP group, I had to have a subscription. So I had to automatically do that. Like I can't sit here and send invoices out. So it's like on an automatic thing. And that just makes it easier for me. It'll send me a notification if someone's payment failed or whatever. So I had to get very detailed and organized within my business. I started respecting the entities and the businesses that brought me money. Okay. So once I put respect there by creating structure, it then respects me back. Same thing with my money. I got tired of not being able to check my credit score out of avoidance, because we think that avoidance is going to make us feel safe, and it will for a little bit, but the longer you avoid, the bigger the problem gets and the louder it gets. So I said, you know what? I'm going to check my credit score and I'm going to see what I can do to build my credit score. I also help people rebuild their credit within my private mentorship program, which is the highest tier of mentorship, the 16-week program. And that one we do everything. Whatever you say, I want a complete transformation in my life, whether it be fitness or whatever, because I do have a trainer that I can set you up with. I have a financial advisor I can set you up with. I have a lawyer who will help you with your business structuring and things like that. These are people that I know personally, people that I have mentored personally. Um, and so I have those people there for people who get that package. And so when you set these things up, it's like, okay, with your credit, you might need to, file some disputes. You might need to get on the Kickoff app. You might need to pay every month for your experience so you can know what's going on. When you know what's going on, guess what? It no longer controls you. The credit score does not control you. It's a number at the end of the day. It's a fucking number. And we can listen. Let me slow down for a second. We can get into talks of the universe of none of it matters. There's nobody but you. It's just a number on a screen. Blah, blah, blah. These things are very accurate and they are very true. It is just a number on a screen. It should not have power or control over you. Yes. Yes, we are all one state of consciousness experiencing itself from different perspectives. Yes. But I tell you one fucking thing. I want to be consciousness experiencing itself from a rich ass perspective. That's just me. Okay. Doesn't mean that Joe Schmo over here with his guru fancy, high vibrational talk is irrelevant. He's very accurate in his statement. And if he wants to live life like that, he can. But I love my designer bag and my German engineering. So I'm going to keep it like that by any means necessary. Okay. Now, when you are creating that life and you're showing up as that version of yourself, what does that look like to you? and pause the video if you need to. Right now, currently, what does financial abundance look like to you? Now, when you write this list out, pause for a moment and go over each thing that you wrote down. If it's making $10,000 a day, then you say, what could I do right now in this moment to move closer to my $10,000? What could I do right now in this moment to start my business? What's one tiny action step that I can take? Because the universe is always going to reward audacity. Who do you have the audacity to show up as? People either are extremely, extremely in love with Donald Trump, or they extremely, extremely can't stand the man. Okay. But at the end of the day, he still had audacity to say, I've never been in politics in my life, but I'm going to run for the president of the United States of America and win twice. Now that's some audacity for your ass. Whether you like him or not is irrelevant. The man had audacity and believed in that audacity. So what are you doing today to do the same thing? What action step can I take to get to the version of myself that I say that I am? Okay. What does that look like? This whole thing of people like, oh, okay, well, I want to be a content creator, so I'm going to get online and I'm going to dress up every day. Girl, that's not fucking realistic for me. It ain't. I'm sitting here in my kitchen. I have on my favorite faja. I'm in between stuff that I'm doing today. And I was like, let me hop on and batch some content. And that's what I did because that's the version of me that I am. I thought in the past I had to be all glitz and glam and make my makeup on and I got to post on TikTok every day. If I don't, the algorithm, girl, fuck that algorithm. I don't give a damn about that fuck ass algorithm. I don't. And because for me, like I'm outgrowing that space of TikTok anyways. And so every once in a while I'll get on and go on live because I love the lives and I love to be able to communicate with everyone. But I think I'm going to start like hosting a live on my Google Meet where we can talk in a video format, like group coaching, if you will. I want to start doing that. And if you guys are interested in that, please leave a comment and let me know that you're interested in that, because I need the feedback so I know like what to put out to help people. And maybe it can be like an hour thing where we just do like a group session and you guys tell me like what's going on and we can communicate. Because what I hate about TikTok Live is I have to wait for them to comment what they have the question on, and I might not be fully understanding the context of what they're asking, if that makes sense. So it would be a lot easier to be able to do it that way. At any rate, I thought like I had to show up in full glitz and glam, this and that, and hair done, makeup done, boobs out, lashes on. That's just not me. I'm more of a casual person these days. My whole life revolves around my son. We have basketball practice on Mondays and Wednesdays, math tutoring on Tuesdays and Thursdays, private basketball practice on Fridays. I'm in the salon on Saturdays. He has games on Saturdays and Sundays. My man is very needy. I love him to bits and pieces, but he has a lot of stuff going on as well. And then I have my doggy. And then I have a social life. So like I'm quite busy. So am I on here sometimes in full glam? Yes. Am I on here some days in loungewear? Yes. Am I on here on days in my casual days where I'm going to go run errands after this? Yes. Yes, I am. That is me showing up in my true authentic form. I don't want to wear makeup every day. I'm a makeup artist for a living. I don't want to do all that. It's not who I want to be. So you then have to ask yourself, okay, what version of myself am I being today? What does that look like? Do I fantasize what financial abundance looks like? Because at the end of the day, financial abundance just means freedom. Well, if I have that freedom, there has to be some sort of structure in place to give me that. So what am I avoiding right now in this moment? What am I so afraid of? I'm afraid of checking my credit score. I'm afraid of opening the bill. I'm afraid of being the version of myself that I want to be. And you guys, I used to get so confused when people would be like, you say that you want success, but you're afraid of the success. And I'm like, I'm not afraid of the success, girl. Give me $20,000 a month. Bitch, I'll take it. Meanwhile, I'm not doing the things that a person who would be making $20,000 a month and maintaining $20,000 a month, I'm not doing what they would be doing. I'm not identifying as that version. Someone who makes a prestigious amount of money knows what's coming in. They know what's going out. They have their eyes on their money. One good example that I love of this is Cardi B. I love how open she is about like her finances, and she does it in a jokingly way where people kind of gloss over it. But honey, that girl is not playing with you about her coin. Okay. She's not doing it. She always says, I look at my credit card statements. I look at everything that's going in and out. And people say, she doesn't care. She's a multimillionaire. Yes, she does. That's why she's a multimillionaire. She was even like, I think there was an interview where she said, these Birkin bags and this, that, they're like, I don't even know why I have all this. Like, it's just not, it's a bag. But I bet money she knows what's going in. She knows what's coming out. And then there was this video of Tia, she's on TikTok, T, and she does like all these little videos and stuff of calling people's baby daddies and stuff. And she got this question where this girl was like, T, can you give me money to get my hair done? This, that, and the third. I gave her some sob story. She said, no, girl, you better get you $20 and go to the beauty supply store and do this, that, blah, blah, blah. And there's nothing wrong with that. But these people keep their wealth because they're very smart about the way that they're moving. They know, like, I can't do all that. That's why you see some people who get drafted into the NFL and they have like a whole series about it. I think it's on Netflix, where these people will lose their money. A lot of athletes will lose their money because they grew up with nothing. They don't have the structure and the discipline to not give Uncle Johnny $10,000 a month. They're like, well, he's my family. I'm going to take care of him. Okay, but who's going to take care of you? The NFL don't last always, and you're deteriorating your body with every game that you play, every hit that you take, and then you didn't listen to your financial advisor or didn't get one or didn't get a good one. Now you're broke. What the fuck? I just saw on social media this morning. Where is it? Guy who hit the lottery. Yeah, a man who won 167 million Powerball jackpot last year has been recently arrested for breaking into someone's home to steal $12,000. Girl, what? Like, you guys have got to be the version of yourselves that does maintain it, not the version of yourself that you think is going to be able to maintain it. Yes, it's called the law of assumption, but it should be called law of audacity. Like, who do you have the audacity to be today, like I said in the previous video? I want you guys to be more structured and disciplined with the pattern. I want you to recognize your patterns. I want you to write these patterns down, and I want you to say, where do I disrupt the pattern? Because you have to break the pattern today in order to get a different outcome. So where can I disrupt the pattern to get a different outcome? What am I doing today that keeps repeating to where I keep getting the same shit over and over and over again in relationships? I was with Billy. I was with Johnny. I was with Don. I was with Isaiah, all these random ass names. I was with this person and I keep getting the same thing. Well, beloved, if you're getting the same thing from different people, I think the common denominator might be you. What do you need to change? What pattern do you need to break and disrupt so that you can create a new one? Because remember, all of this is just conditioned stimulus. And the conditioned stimulus teach you what to react to, what to respond to. The name April might trigger you because your ex cheated on you with a girl named April, and now April has all this power and meaning over you. I used to could not be able to listen to certain love songs because it would remind me of my ex. Now I can listen to those songs no problem because it no longer controls me. Okay. You got to disrupt the pattern in order to get something else. If you need further help with this, please head over to platinumgang.store. You can get a 90-day platinum manifestation plan from me. It'll be customized for you. You can type in the discount code LIVE20. I will probably leave that code up for the rest of the month for that and for the 1 hour Google Meet one-on-one session. If you are interested in private mentorship, there's some options on platinumgang.store. If you are unsure of what option to choose from, please shoot me an email. My email is also available at platinumgang.store, or you can email me at support@platinumganglifestyle.com, and my assistant will forward that email over to me. It's been my intent that this video has helped you, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.